Furious 7 arrived in theaters and lived up to its name, breaking box office records in its path and leaving audiences wondering, how can they possibly top this? From cars skydiving and leaping between skyscrapers to The Rock laying the smackdown on Jason Statham, the 7th installment in the popular franchise had it all. And today, we're sharing our list of 7 things we think need to happen in Part 8, aka Infuriate. We'll let you have that one for free, Universal. If you haven't guessed by now, we'll be covering some things that happened in Furious 7, so if you haven't seen it yet, best to probably check out another one of our awesome videos. At number 1, a brand new lead. The biggest change in the Fast and Furious lineup comes from the tragic and very untimely death of star Paul Walker, who is given a beautiful homage at the end of Furious 7. With the character now moving on to be a family man with his wife Mia, played by Jordana Brewster, there will presumably be 2 characters leading the franchise, and Vin Diesel's Dom is going to need a new partner in golden-hearted crime, and audiences are going to need a new fresh-faced star to latch onto. This leaves the door open for a brand new lead and a new opportunity. Instead of trying to replace Walker, how about changing things up a little bit and having Dom partner with a badass female driver? It could be a great way to add a new twist into the franchise and avoid an actor feeling like they have to step into Paul Walker's shoes. At number 2, Helen Mirren. Like the professor of dark arts in the Harry Potter franchise, the Fast and Furious movies always get a new villain, and this time they don't even need to do a casting search. One of the most prolific and iconic actors of our time has been boasting about wanting to co-star opposite Vin Diesel and drive some cool supercars, and that star is none other than Dame Helen Mirren. Yes, you heard me correctly, the actress famous for playing Queen Elizabeth on stage and screen and a lead in the Red films recently told Yahoo Movies, quote, "My great ambition is to be in a Fast and Furious movie. I so want to be a mad driver in a Fast and Furious movie. I keep putting it out there and they never ask me. I'll be in Fast and Furious 8. The star went on to say it's partly because of her love for Vin Diesel and partly because of her love for driving fast cars. Combine that with the fact that Helen Mirren is one of the best actresses of our time and she wants to be a villain in your film, and we say get on top of that, Universal, make it happen. At number 3, New York, New York. Doubling down on another star's comments, Vin Diesel has mentioned his desire to bring the franchise to the Big Apple, New York City. The films have gained a reputation for their globe-trotting nature, taking the franchise from Los Angeles to Abu Dhabi and everywhere in between, and New York seems like the logical next step. We're imagining some fairly clever action sequences and stunts could be pulled off on the city's busy streets, and don't even get us started with what they could do in the subway system. Holy cow. Throw in a chase across water to Liberty Island, and the movie practically will just write itself. Now, we're not sure exactly how they'd manage to pull it all off, but it's Fast and Furious, so they'd figure it out. At number 4, take things old school. Now, the stunts featured in Furious 7, most notably the skydiving and skyscraper jump scenes, were some of the most insane we've seen in some time, and we're thinking it's gonna be pretty daggone hard to top those, so we'd say, let's not. Instead, go in reverse.
Crazy ass white boy.
We know the series went into turbo when they dropped the street racing element, but the sweet Italian job-style car chases from the earlier films were some of the series' highlights, and we'd like to see them return. If the 8th installment is going to take place in New York, why not tone down some of the CGI effects and get back to the bare bones, adrenaline pumping, high octane, sitting on the edge of your seat chase scenes, and let the absurd physics-defying stunts build to the climax instead of wasting their ridiculousness early on. At number 5, let's set up Hobbs for a solo movie. Now, we love every member of the Fast team, but Dwayne Johnson's Hobbs has been one of the best additions to the franchise, bringing a certain charisma that none of the other stars have been able to capture before or since. Hobbs' one-liners in Furious 7 easily garnered some of the film's biggest laughs, and the character has been praised as the best part of what many consider to be the best film in the series, Fast Five. He's also intimidating as hell, and his character's background as a DSS agent provides Hobbs with a plethora of villains and stories to tell. For all of these reasons, you guys, we think the studio has their first case for a solid Fast and Furious spinoff, and what better time to plant the seeds than in the next movie. Even though Hobbs was associated with the story in Furious 7, he didn't play a crucial role, and his importance to the crew seems to be dwindling, so it's time to give this man his own mission. At number 6, nobody does it better. Furious 7 left Kurt Russell's government agent character, Mr. Nobody's Future, pretty wide open, and we need some explanation as to whom this guy works for in the next movie. Yes, we get the joke, nobody, but he's got to report to someone, right? Let's raise the bar and have Mr. Nobody start hiring out Furious crew for some nefarious government activity. Now, the first trilogy was low-level street racing and robbery, followed by high-profile heists. The next step to elevate the suspense is to go all Dirty Dozen and make the crew work for the government, not like the police before, but black ops level sketchy stuff that Mr. Nobody deals with. At number 7, let's move forward. One of the biggest themes from Furious 7 was the idea of moving forward above and beyond what you think possible and taking it a step further, seizing your future and pressing the pedal to the metal to get there. Now, the film succeeded in this, tying up almost every loose end planted in the previous movies, so it seems like it's time for the franchise to move forward. The series' main writer, Chris Morgan, has said that he had some fun planting seeds throughout the last few films and bringing back old elements you thought were gone back into the game. This has worked successful, like using Han to tie old and new characters together, but it's also been less successful, like when they killed Letty and then brought her right back. The next set of movies need to work with what Furious 7 gave them, and the established characters and nothing more. While the callbacks have been very fun, 6 of them are enough, so it's time to move on, don't you think? Okay, you guys, now that you've heard our list of the things we think that need to happen in Fast and Furious 8, it's time to share your thoughts. Race on down to the comments, or you can also tweet us at Clever Movies. And then also click right here to find out how we ranked all 7 Fast and Furious movies. Until next time, I'm Erin Robinson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here with more movie news.